I think the whole thing fits well. The backpack, the camera, you wouldn't actually know is on your head, to be honest.
And we thought originally a 2-pound weight, we thought that might be upsetting your equilibrium, but of course it's in your back. If you like, just turn around slowly there, and we'll see in your back here is the transmitter. It's the tube from the camera goes down into the back here, and there is also lower down a microphone for effect shots. So it is quite incredible. Mick, if you can sort of turn back to us again, how comfortable is it to wear?
Well, it seems absolutely fine. It's like putting on an extra back protector, if anything. It doesn't feel that cumbersome, but then, I can remember when I wore a back protector for the first time, I thought that felt pretty awkward. I'm not saying that, you get used to this, but, it'll be interesting to see what it feels like when I ride with it.
Well, there are 3 of you taking it. Are the boys excited about what you might actually be pioneering? Pictures?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be great to see, because I can remember even when you went round with Harvey Smith to try and get the pictures, and they were fantastic. I think it'll be great for us because it'll give people an insight into what we have to go through on a daily basis. When you see it on television, it's very easy. It looks very easy. It's like any professional sport, it looks easy. But when you see a bird's eye view of exactly what we have to see and the troubles that you encounter throughout a race, not just you see something on television, one ducking in front of the other, it doesn't look much, but when you see it close up and, right up against it, it will show it in a different light.
Well, Mick, the safety angle, are you happy with this? Because the camera, if you can just turn sideways, I will show that this actually does come off, and so does that. So you're happy with that sort of situation, are you?
Yeah, absolutely fine. I think the whole thing, there's obviously been plenty of work gone into figuring out the whole thing, and it doesn't feel too uncomfortable. It'll be interesting to see what it's like in the race.
Fantastic. Well, boys, before we ask your opinion on...
22 runners parading behind me for the John Hughes Chase, which is coming up very shortly. We've got that and also a hurdle race for you to come yet, so don't leave us. Let's get the runners and riders for this, though, with Jim McGrath.
Number 1 is Cherry Nut, Mr. Joe Tizard, claiming 5. 2, Easy Buck, Andrew Thornton. 3, Cabrit, Richard Dunwoody. 4, Glamott, Russ Garrity. Number 5, Cypher Malta, Tony McCoy. 6, Golden Spinner, Mick Fitzgerald. 7 is Fraser Island, Richard Guest. 8, With Impunity, Timmy Murphy. Number 9 is Lyndon's Lotto, Brian Harding. 10, Orswell Lad, Mr. Robert Widger, claiming 7. 11 is Martel Boy, Norman Williamson. 12, Indian Arrow, Chris Maud. Take out number 13, Valiant Warrior, a non-runner. 14, Over the Deal, Mr. Chris Bonner, and he is actually 3 pound overweight. He rides at 10 stone. 15 is High Altitude, Lorcan Wire. 16, Nicholas Plant, Scott Taylor, claiming 3. 17, Back Bar, Conor O'Dwyer. 18 is Griffin's Bar, Warren Marston. 19, Green Hill Raffles, Martin Foster. 20, Ballyline, Brendan Powell. 21 is Bendor Mark, Robbie Supple. 22, River Unshin, Paul Carberry. And 23, Flapjack Lad, Carl Llewellyn. So 22 runners. The non-runner is Valiant Warrior in this John Hughes Trophy, the first race over the national fences for 1998. And here's the betting.
The baby in the party, Cypher Malta, only a 5-year-old, 7-2 favourite for McCoy, Johnson and Pipe. Indian Arrow also from Pipes at 5-1. Martel Boy, he's 11, but you could fancy him, he'll stay and jump, 6-1. Fraser Island at 9s. 14s, Glamott and With Impunity and Orswell Lad. Cherry Nut is 20, the same price, Easy Buck and Lyndon's Lotto. It's 25-1, Golden Spinner, Mick Fitzgerald's on that one. 33-1, High Altitude, Nicholas Plant, Back Bar, Griffin's Bar, Ballyline, Flapjack Lad. Then 40 Over the Deal, 50s Bendor Mark, River Unction the same price, and nobody wants to know Green Hills Raffles, he's 100-1.
There is Cypher Malta walking around, just having the sheets taken off him. Interesting story about this horse. We had a horse in the same race at Cheltenham as this was in, called Jack Doyle, and Martin told me not to run Jack Doyle against this horse, Cypher Malta. His horse is a certainty. Jack Doyle beat him at Sandown, but he said going left-handed, he is a a stonewall certainty, he said, this horse, to beat Jack Doyle. So much so that Martin and Nigel had £1,000 bet to see who would finish in front of him. Never, needless to say, as history will tell, that unfortunately Jack Doyle broke down. I think, to be fair to Nigel, he would have gone very close if he hadn't broken down. He is only a young horse, only a 5-year-old, a novice taking on these horses than the John Hughes over these big fences, but he's a French-bred horses. The French-bred horses are very clever with their front feet. They're well schooled, and I think he's more than capable of handling this track.
Well, before we get on to another horse, I must just tell you, in case we don't see number 10 Allswell Lad, that Mr. Robert Widger, who rides him, just 18 years of age, had 3 winners only under rules. Well, it's his first ride over the big fences, but his great uncle, Mr. Joe Widger, rode in the 1895 National. He won it on the Wild Man from Borneo, and I must tell you, the horse's head has graced the county stand for many years. Now, Reg Green is going to send young Robert up there to see the Wild Man from Borneo hanging there in the county stand. So there is Robert Widger. He's a very decent rider. He was going to the top, you know, as a show jumper.
Ran in the last.
Champs-Élysées, I was worried early on, you know. Aintree comes very quickly after Cheltenham. Why it comes so quickly I do not know, but you know, he had a hard race at Cheltenham, and I think it's probably taken its toll here today.
I mean, do you think that might be the case for Cypher Malta as well?
Cypher Malta came out of Cheltenham well. He didn't seem to have as hard a race as Champs-Élysées at Cheltenham. Seems in great form. We're hoping for a good run today.
And you're happy that he'll jump those big fences?
Fingers crossed. Yeah, he jumped well at Cheltenham. He's quite clever. You know, we're just going to have a bit of luck in running.
And best of luck.
Thank you.
There is David Pipe. Obviously takes after his mother. You can just see Martin jump out of the sofa there now. Obviously takes after his mother. Good-looking young boy that talks very well. There is number...
Timmy Murphy it is, and he had a terrible fall yesterday.
Yes, another horse I know well here, With Impunity. This horse really goes and stands off at his fences. The one question mark, I mean, he's won round here and he jumps well, but he does make the odd, as they say, just picks up. Yes, just seeing Timmy smiling, you'll notice.
Well, I thought he'd got a gum shield in there.
No, it's a piece of little horse, well bought by Philip Hobbs and Terry Warner, and just easing down. There you can see the fence.
Well, Richard Dunwoodie's keeping his head nice and straight. It certainly won't be like that during the race. He's 25-1 from 33, so a fair bit of confidence there. Woody just putting his hand up, that's probably what got rid of the picture. Woody, will you put your hand down? Crying out loud. He's saying to himself, what on earth sitting on my head? He's forgotten already.
Yeah, it's loose.
He's adjusting it.
In his past, he's getting on a bit now. He's 11 years of age, but he's always had national or Aintree fences written all over him. Real big, bold jumper.
Yeah, I spoke to Andrew Thornton before about this fella, and he said he will absolutely love the ground, and he's very bullish on him.
Well, Andrew Thornton is riding high. A King George VI chase on Seymour Business. He's won the Gold Cup on Cool Dawn. He's now been switched, of course, to St Melian's Fairway in the Martel National on Saturday. It would really crown a good season. But this is slightly worrying. It can be great for a jock to have a ride round here, but it's risky.
It is. I mean, if you've got a good ride in the National, I was always worried in case you have a stupid fall and you miss the National. I suppose that's the same case about the whole of the Aintree meet.
Exactly. I mean, there's only one entry, and I suppose if you were to worry about it, you probably wouldn't do it anyway, you know.
Simon Morant, who starts the National itself, looking worried. He'll want to get them off on time or as near to time as possible. I don't agree, Stu. I've said it before, in horses being made to stand stock still in a line.
No, and especially in this is one of the worst races because they're all lined up in the tape. The start is so important, but I think the quicker they let them go, the better.
There's Martel Boy there. I rode him in this year's Midlands National over 3.5 mile, and I think this trip will suit him a lot better today.
Yes, I think Martel Boy will stay this trip. Well, it's a good trip for him. Cypher Malta 7-2, 6.5 to 1 Drifting Indian Arrow, 8 to 1 and Drifting Martel Boy. That could look tasty each way. Fraser Island at 9s, 12s With Impunity. He's been back. 14s Glamotte and Allswell Lad. 16 he's been back. Cherry Nut, the top one, with amateur Joe Tizard on board. Easy Buck Steady at 20s. Lyndon's Lotto the same price, and a lot of money for Ballyline now. They're going for Tom Kemp's, and so that one coming in for each way money. Brendan Powell on board. It sounds as if he's not going to let them go. You can. So, Jim, it could be a slight delay, but not for long. All yours.
Thanks, Richard. Yes, lining up for this John Hughes Trophy. Race over 2 3/4 miles, just over one circuit of the national course. That's Ballyline standing side on down near the inside. You have a lot more to worry about there. Cypher Malta's just in behind in that group. In fact, last of them as they jostle for position. Now he's found a place, Cypher Malta. That's With Impunity is hanging back behind them. 22 runners. That's it, under orders, and they're away, and the John Hughes are charged towards the first now. The leader is Golden Spinner. Up there too is Over the Deal in the early stages. Green Hill Raffles, the outsider, is also very prominent as they head towards the first now. Golden Spinner takes off in the lead. All got over the first okay, and charging now towards the second. It's Green Hill Raffles who's up on the outside, challenging Golden Spinner for the lead. Linden's Lotto is there as well, and Over the Deal just behind them as they head over the second, and Bendor Marker's a faller there. Bendor Marker's gone, and Griffin's Bar is also a casualty at the second. Racing now towards the chair, and Ballyline Cabrit joined Linden's Lotto in the lead with Golden Spinner just behind them from Easy Buck. Then Nicholas Plant as they head over the chair there. Linden's Lotto went through the top of it, but they're all over the chair now as they race towards the water. It's Ballyline who shows the way here from Cabrit, up there as well as Easy Buck, and behind them Nicholas Plant. Then Cypher Malta, who jumped up on the outside, the inside from Golden Spinner. Indian Arrow, Linden's Lotto's dropped back a few places, followed next in the field there by Back Bar on the inside. Back in the field is River Unchin at this stage from With Impunity. Green Hill Raffles there, followed back in the field by Fraser Island. Then Glamott, who's well back in company with Cherry Nut. Out wide a Martel Boy from Over the Deal. Well back in the field Flapjack Lad, and they're followed by High Altitude, and Oswell Boy is last in the field as they race towards the Melling Road. And it's Easy Buck up there with Cabrit, and also Ballyline Cypher Malta as they head now towards the fifth fence. We join John Hanmer.
And With Impunity has joined them in the centre of the course as well. Ballyline on the inside, With Impunity in the centre, then Cabrit, Easy Buck, Nicholas Plant, then River Unchin and Glamott and Linden Lotto as they come to fence number 6. And With Impunity and Ballyline took it together. A mistake by Indian Arrow, who's lost ground, and coming to the open ditch, fence number 7. Ballyline on the rails with Impunity. Then comes Cabrit, and they're streaming over that. And there's a faller there, which looks like Nicholas Plant. Nicholas Plant, the faller, and it's Ballyline disputing it with Impunity, who makes a mistake as we join Tony O'Hare.
And racing down now towards fence number 9, With Impunity disputing the lead with Ballyline on the inside. Right up there too is Cabrit, and they're being followed by Martel Boy creeping closer on the outside. Just in behind the leading group towards the centre of the track is Golden Spinner, and over that one we've lost a couple at that down River Unchin as a faller, and also out of the race at that fence as they head down towards Beecher's fence with Glemott as they come. Green Hill Raffles as they come to jump Beecher's. Ballyline the leader, Martel Boy on the outside. Up there too is With Impunity, and they're followed by Cypher Malta moving up towards the leaders. Cabrit is just behind them. Easy Buck has been pulled up, but at the Foynaven fence the leader is Ballyline from With Impunity. Martel Boy, Cypher Malta jumps up into third. A gap then to Fraser Island and Cabrit. They're being followed by Glemott, and then comes Back Bar, and behind Back Bar is Cherry Nut, and after Cherry Nut is Indian Arrow, Flapjack Lad and Golden Spinner. They're a long way clear of Orswell Lad as they jump the canal turn. High Altitude has been pulled up far back in the field, and racing now away from the canal turn and on towards Valentine's Brook. Ballyline is the leader from With Impunity. Cypher Malta in third, they're followed in fourth by Martel Boy. Then comes Fraser Island, Cabrit is next, then Glemott a mistake, Indian Arrow is next, then Back Bar and Cherry Nut. Over the Deal pulled up as we join John Hanmer.
And they've got 5 to jump. Ballyline and With Impunity are the 2 leaders. Cypher Malta's just in behind them. A mistake by Martel Boy, who made one earlier too. Then Fraser Island, who's followed by Cabrit as they come to the last open ditch, 4 out, and With Impunity and Ballyline dispute the lead from Cypher Malta, then Martel Boy and Fraser Island. A mistake by Cherry Nut, who's chasing them, going to the third last, and With Impunity is just the leader from Ballyline, then Cypher Malta. Clinton's Lotto's been pulled up, and a mistake by Fraser Island in 5th place, and they've got 2 to jump as they go across the Melling Road, and With Impunity just the leader from Ballyline. Martel Boy, Cypher Malta, a gap to Fraser Island, then Cabrit as they go towards the second last and over to Jim McGrath.
Well, it's With Impunity on the right, with Ballyline. They're battling it out. Cypher Malta in behind is still going okay, and yet with a few shots to fire, I'd say. They're followed then by Martel Boy, and they've kicked right away as they round the turn now with 2 fences left to jump. And on the inside, it's With Impunity. The outside is Ballyline. Just in behind them, Cypher Malta with a white cap. They're clear then of Martel Boy battling on, followed further back then by Flapjack Lad as they come towards the second last. Ballyline now a clear leader, comes to it, jumps it well. Cypher Malta jumping up there in a second. With Impunity on the inside is third. They're clear of Fraser Island. Further back is Flapjack Lad, followed by Cabrit and Martel Boy. Golden Spin has been pulled up. They come towards the last. With Impunity joined now by Cypher Malta, and on the outside Ballyline. It's Cypher Malta in the centre who's raced into the lead. With Impunity on the inside battling on, followed by Ballyline. They race towards the elbow. It's Cypher Malta now who's powering clear. Cypher Malta goes 4 or 5 in front and is careering away. In second is Ballyline, followed by With Impunity, Fraser Island. But in the run up to the line, it's Cypher Malta. This 5-year-old owned by David Johnson, trained by Martin Pipe, has spread eagle the field. Cypher Malta wins the John Hughes in a canter by about 10 or 12 lengths. Second is Ballyline, third then is With Impunity, followed by Fraser Island, fourth, then Cabrit, Flapjack Lad, then Orswell Lad from Martel Boy, Macbar behind them from Glamott, and they are the only finishers in the John Hughes. The winner is number 5, Cypher Malta, owned by David Johnson, trained by Martin Pipe, ridden by Tony McCoy.